Hello, everyone, and welcome to the live stream. My name is Dan Courier. This is Creator Fundamentals, and I'm joined by my good friend and MC of People of Video, Dale L. Roberts. It's great to be with you this evening. And Dale, how's your day going so far?
I'm fantastic. I'm at the end of the day. I crammed as much as I could. I literally, right before we got on here, I was shooting some videos and I'm like, I could do it. I could do it. And sure enough, I showed up, but I had to get everything set up. So geeked up to be here today, man, because you told me what we're going to talk about today. Subscribers don't matter. What's really important to grow on YouTube. You know, this is my jam, baby.
Absolutely. And I think, one of the things about YouTube is first of all, it's true for those of you who think it's hyperbole or it is, clickbait. Subscribers do not matter the way people think that they matter. YouTube does itself a disservice because all of its rewards are tied to subscribers, but getting subscribers on a YouTube channel is the byproduct of a well-run channel. It should not be the goal. If you're doing other things right, if you're doing the things that really matter that we're going to talk about here in the live stream this evening, then subscribers will take care of themselves. But the people who go out and think that subscribers are the be all end all, those are the ones who tend to struggle because they don't really know what they're focused on or why they're focused on that particular thing. And for that reason, they really struggle when it comes to growth and having a successful channel. We are going to touch on those things. In fact, before we do, I want to jump in the chat, say hello to everybody before we kick this off.
What's up?
Construction cronies out there, wine and spirits with Curtis, Homestead Aquarius, Pravin Sarawanan, and I probably messed that up, but hello to you as well. Suffice to say is out there, Practical IT. I see Binbuster, LL Carolinas. How are you? Zeppelin 3D. And Raccoon Fun out there as well. If you have a question during the live stream, definitely let us know by leaving a comment in the chat. If you can just put a question ahead of that, it'll be easier for us to see it. We do have some moderators out there who can also assist us with that as well. But we are going to be talking about these things. And Dale, what do you think are some of the things that are more important than subscribers here on YouTube?
Oh, man. I think to me, subscribers used to be the biggest thing when I first got in about like 5 years ago, where it was just like, get subscribers, get subscribers, get subscribers, get subscribers. And eventually it was like, all right, let's get subscribers. But ultimately, it doesn't mean jack if no one's watching and consuming your content. So to me, I think the gold of everything inside your dashboard is always go back, look at your watch time. Are you keeping people on? Because if you're not keeping people on, you're just shouting into an empty room. No one really is going to listen. You're going to want to make sure that you get this watch time up so you're bringing more people to the table, not just subscribers, but non-subscribers.
And the biggest question, and diving a little deeper into watch time, is how do we get more watch time? And I think that comes down to the basic approach to how we view YouTube. And that is, your goal is not to figure out how to get people to watch your videos. Your goal is to figure out who you're making videos for and understand what they want to watch and why they want to watch it. And then your focus should be to create as much value for them as possible. And the better you're able to do that, the better your channel is going to perform, because if you're doing the things that they are looking for, then they're going to watch longer. They're going to engage with the video. You are going to have more people come because YouTube is going to see the signals from those viewers, and they're going to say, hey, we have other people that like the same thing. Let's show them the video. So it all really comes down to kind of changing the focus and understanding that your goal is not a me subscribers thing. It is a, what can I do for this person? How I can present the most value to this person. And of course, this person is kind of an avatar. It's a type of person. It's a type of viewer. It's somebody who's passionate about certain things. The more you understand who they are and what goes on in their world and what they're interested in, the better you're going to be at delivering that value. And then all these other things start to fall in place, like watch time, like Dale said. And again, if you have a channel where you're attracting people and you are getting them to watch videos longer, then some of them are definitely going to subscribe to your channel, and you're going to get those subscribers as a byproduct of a well-run channel.
And it's often, I don't think enough people appreciate this, that the amount of viewers that consume your content, especially as you grow and you get more views, a vast majority of them are non-subscribers. Some people just don't subscribe for whatever reason. Heck, I even know some people that just go to YouTube, look up what they need to look, and watch it, and then done. They don't even have an account necessarily. They just go and watch. And people can do that. So let's also not, ignore the fact that there are the non-subscriber to subscriber ratio. And sometimes it's unevenly balanced towards that non-subscriber area. I don't know if you could speak on that, Dan, can you?
So a couple things on that. The first thing, I watched a really interesting video, and unfortunately the YouTuber escapes me, but they were doing an interview with an engineer at YouTube, and they, a lot of us complain because we're like, hey, people have subscribed to our channel and they rung the bell, and then YouTube's not showing them our videos. And he basically explained that it was, and if anybody knows this video that I'm talking about, definitely leave it in the chat. But they basically said that they took a hard look at why people subscribe, and they realized that for some people, subscribing is not about, hey, I'm going to come back and watch your videos. It's more of a high five, in terms of, we appreciated this single video, we acknowledge that you did a good job, I'm going to subscribe to your channel to let you know. They may never come back and watch another video. So from YouTube's perspective, they have a full and clear understanding that whether they're subscribed or not is not the indicator of whether they are going to watch more of your content. So for that reason, and YouTube had to learn this lesson, because they were talking about an example in the past where they would show you, based on your viewing habits, they'd show you like 10 channels of a similar content and allow you to subscribe to them all at once, to make it easier for you. But what they found is that did not lead to more watch time, more viewing by those subscribers or those new subscribers to those channels. In fact, in a lot of cases, they never came back. So the whole subscriber thing, the whole, importance on subscriber has certainly been diminished. YouTube has certainly realized that the overall value and meaning of a subscriber is not the same as they thought it was. And they continue to evolve and look for better signals to understand exactly who's going to come back and watch, and why they're watching, and why they subscribed, to determine whether or not they're going to watch. So you do absolutely get a lot of people who aren't subscribed to your channel that watch, and a lot of that can depend on the type of content that you're making. For example, educational content, how-tos, those sort of things. I remember when I first started doing content on YouTube, I was climbing under a car and, changing brakes or something. A lot of those people were like me. They're laying on their back in the driveway trying to fix something, and they're trying to find an answer with greasy hands. They figure out what's going on, and then they move on. They're not trying to be your friend. They don't want to subscribe to your channel. They're just trying to solve a problem. So it really has to do with who's watching, why they're watching, and what type of content that you're making to determine, exactly whether it's subscribers or non-subscribers. But in a lot of cases, it's mostly non-subscribers who watch and consume your content. In fact, very rarely have I encountered somebody where it's the opposite, where the majority of their viewers are actually subscribe to their channel. So that's certainly an interesting thing to consider as well.
Here's something that's pretty funny. Let me just share a little personal insight where it kind of, leads to what I think YouTube, how it works is, I am a big fan of wrestling. And so I will watch wrestling videos. And most importantly, I got to get my gossip over on a channel called WrestleLamia. And I go and watch WrestleLamia on a regular basis. I am not subscribed. Here's the funny thing. I get served that every single time I come back. They're like, here's another WrestleMania video because we know you're going to enjoy it. And I'll stop and I'll watch it. So it's very true. Like, I'm not going to subscribe to that channel because I want the information I want. And here's the cool thing is YouTube knows I'm going to go ahead and watch it. So it's making the right content that's binge worthy if you want to see more viewers and more watch time coming in. And this is something that I'm starting to work with my video editor, is creating some content that is binge worthy, not just from a how-to standpoint, but more from an emotional standpoint, a storytelling standpoint. And so we're starting to get that grasp of that. But I'll be honest with you that I think we still have some improvement to do before we really get the good grace of YouTube showering us with subscribers, or for that matter, watch time.
Yeah, and they, the engineer at YouTube came right out and said, it's hard to kind of pinpoint what particular viewers are interested in. I
Mhm.
mean, just think about any individual. Certainly, you're going to have two, you know, even though two separate viewers have similar habits, they aren't going to overlap on everything. So they are going to have
Right.
slightly different, interests, and those are going to send different signals to YouTube. But I mean, you can see, to the point that you just made, you can actually see this at work, because you can go out and watch a video on a topic that you haven't watched in a while, and then refresh your home screen and see if there's other videos that are similar to the video that you just watched. Like you said, I don't normally watch wrestling, but I bet if I went out and watched a wrestling video and I refreshed, YouTube would try to show me a couple more wrestling videos
Yep.
to try to learn whether that is an interest of mine that I'm going to binge watch or continue to watch or go down that path. So YouTube is extremely complex, because I know we've all been there, where maybe you start out watching a wrestling video, and then a half hour later you are on like underwater basket weaving. You have no idea how you got there, and it's just because YouTube is recommending videos that are just generally interesting to people, and they learn which ones are most interesting to the widest set of people, and those are the ones that they tend to suggest the most. So as much as we are niche, a lot of those really popular videos that explode and go viral are because they're storytelling at the base, their entertainment. And the more that we're able to mix that into our content, whether we're educational or otherwise, the more YouTube has the ability to keep presenting that to a wider audience. Just on that note, the way that I look at this is it's basically like a bullseye, where the center of the bullseye is your subscribers and your audience, and YouTube is going to show that to the people who are subscribed and have the bell rung, and then they're going to see what happens. If people respond positively, they're going to say, okay, let's widen that circle to a little bit bigger audience and see how they respond. And they do that and they respond positively, they're opening it up to the next circle, and they're going to continue to open those circles and expand the reach of your video and react to the signals that they're getting. If they expand it to an audience that doesn't respond well, it may contract a little, and they're like, okay, and you're like, why did my video die? And then YouTube figures out other viewers who might be interested, and then they get it right, and then that video explodes. So and when you think about the sheer mass and volume that YouTube is dealing with, it makes sense sometimes about how we're like, why didn't that video take off? That should have been a killer video. Well, if it sent a signal that YouTube didn't really know who to show it to, and it took them a while to get it in front of the proper audience, sometimes those videos can lag a little and take off. Or we hit the nail on the head with our core audience, our subscribers, and then they send positive signals, and YouTube just blows the doors off of it.
Yep. So prior to us getting on here, man, there was, we kind of discussed some of the practical applications of looking at this, not from a subscriber standpoint. What about from just a mindset standpoint? Because this was something you and I kind of tossed around, was talking about, burnout. So how is this going to help me grow my YouTube channel, having the right mindset?
The best couple things here. The best way to avoid burnout
Mhm.
is to not focus on things that you have zero control over. You cannot determine how many views your video gets. You cannot determine how many subscribers your channel gets. What you can do is focus on the things that you can control. That is, how can I make a better video? How can I better understand what people want to see in my video? How can I make my video, resonate with a larger audience, or resonate more with my core audience? Those are the things that you can control. You can also control the process of, that you use to make videos. You can control the frequency with which you post. One of the things that I tell people is, instead of focusing on 1,000 subscribers, focus on your video count. Make 100 videos and try to
Mhm.
grow your channel that way. Try to improve a little bit with each video that you put out, and
Yeah.
you're going to see much better results than obsessing over that subscriber total. And I think that by focusing on that which you can control, and also, to that end, you can control your schedule. It is the
True.
mantra here on Creative Fundamentals to create your freedom. don't create an awful experience for yourself. Just because somebody else is doing 3 videos a day or daily videos, if that's not what fits in your schedule, don't feel like you have to do that to be a winner or to succeed. You're trying to create the perfect situation where you're living life on your terms. You're doing everything exactly the way that you want to do it. And if you're creating this process that sucks, what's the point? Go get a 9 to 5 job and let somebody else make all the decisions. You're the
Yeah.
boss in this scenario. You get to decide exactly what makes sense. Find that whole schedule and approach that is, that in touch with your passion and fits into your schedule, doesn't burn you out. And if you start to feel burnout, you're the boss. Adjust. Don't feel like you're chasing this schedule or this, you know, um, goal that somebody else has set. It's all up to you. And the more that you realize that and reflect upon that and continue to implement that in your approach and your strategy and your workflow and your schedule, the much better off you're going to be and the much and less likely you're going to burn out.
Yeah, it's so true. For me, I know I've been able to mitigate a lot of stress and anxiety by just taking regular time off. Before, it used to be I would stop for 1 week to 2 weeks at the end of the year every year. So as soon as Christmas was coming up, I was super excited for more reasons than one. But it was just this past year, I kind of was like realizing my business has been growing. I mean, I have a team that works under me, and it just continues to grow. And I know a lot of responsibilities and more stress comes to me, but at the same aspect, I've got a team. So this means that I can be able to delegate duties and entrust them with some of those things and take off 1 week every quarter. So every 3 months, I take a required time off. By the way, Dan, I'm off next week. So
Noted.
but it really helps out because I had to force myself to go do the vacation this past quarter because I was having so much fun. But I said, hey, if I was my own boss, what would I say? I said, take the time off now. And the funny thing is, as soon as I got off that week, I felt really recharged. My creativity was like at an all-time high. And I'll tell you, as soon as I got to work, I was excited. I was like, yes, I was super elated. So I created that schedule and it works for me. I don't know that that's going to work for everybody else. Keep in mind, I'm doing this full time. So there's no 9 to 5 job. This is what I do. I'm a video creator and a self publisher. So I do have to give myself a little bit of time and space and some type of separation from this business so it can keep me sharp and so it can keep me hungry and keep me to where I can stay on track for the long term rather than go for the next 5 years, get frustrated, burn out, and just say, ah, screw it. I'll go do something different.
Yeah, for sure. And I think that, time away is valuable and people tend, there's that idea that, oh, I can't take a break because it's going to ruin my channel or I'm going to lose my momentum and all those other things. But, and just to
Know the
that end,
feeling.
yeah. And one of the things that I experienced why I took a really long break from live streaming, because live streaming is one of those things that, if you are having a down day, I used to live stream from like 9 o'clock at night till midnight after I did my 9 to 5 job. And then I did, kids sports and all those things. And I'd come in here at 9 o'clock. And then if you are tired, if you're down, if you had an off day, all that stuff shows up on camera.
It does.
And you're not putting out the best quality content and you're like, hey guys, how you doing? This is kind of good. It just shows up. So I got to the
Or
point.
if you're angry, you're just being aggressive with the message.
Yeah.
Here's how you apply glue to this page.
Get it right, people. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, all that stuff, it serves you better to take a break, to recharge, like Dale said. And it does. You take a little time off, and when you come back, you kind of gravitate towards the things that you love most about it. You're like, oh, I'm pumped to make a video. I'm going to try these new things. I'm going to reach new people. And sometimes you just need that separation. It's kind of like I'm a big baseball fan. And a lot of times if somebody's in a slump, they sit them for a game. And the reason that they do that is because, they want to play every day, but they're sucking it up. And it's that little break that makes you refocus and realize what's most important and just kind of put you back on the right trail. And it's like you said, even if you don't feel like it, you think you're okay, get that break in there because it is going to help you in the long run to stay fresh and make sure you're not coming across as a zombie on camera.
Yeah. So
Real
true.
quick, I see a super chat pop in there. Suffice to
I did,
say,
yes.
when you know, I got to do this here. I need to be better here. Okay, let's see here.
There we go.
When you get a moment, did you get a chance to check and see if save video as new worked for you or not? Just wondering if it was just me. You know, I did not check. I did not check. Um,
Whoops. He's
the
been a little bit busy planning a conference, poor
Yeah,
guy.
so that right there it's been absolutely crazy, especially in the time of COVID. But
Yep.
I did not check, but I know Dale, you confirmed that it was missing for you, right?
It was missing for me, and actually, I went in today, and it was the same thing, same
Okay,
deal. As soon as the video is fully processed, it pulls the save as new away.
that's
It's
bizarre.
so weird. I don't know if I'm missing something. I clicked on the three dots to see if there would be something additional, but it seems like as soon as the video is done processing, it becomes an issue. So
That's interesting. I don't know what uh, the reasoning behind that is,
yeah,
and why it's there while it's processing. So I would imagine though, if you came in right after your live stream, it's going to take a little while to process. You could certainly repurpose then.
yeah.
But otherwise you basically have to download the video and chop it up if you want to take, you know, pieces out and repurpose that content for, you know, standalone videos and that sort of thing.
What I
Um,
typically will do is I have my full podcast recording and I do a news segment at the very beginning that I like to clip. As soon as I'm done broadcasting, it has the edit option. It'll pop up in studio. As soon as you're done being live, it'll direct you on over there, go into the editor and just find a general spot of where it's at. Because as soon as it processes that as save as new, you can go over there and edit that down even more. So I'll just get like a general, like rough cut, toss it on over into there, and then I cut down the processed video when it's all set. So then I have two separate videos, and it seems like it was two separate events when it was actually just one.
nice, nice.
Thank you,
So,
thank you. Work smarter, not harder, right?
oh, absolutely. I'm a big advocate of working smarter rather than harder because you know, especially with the hustle culture and everything out there, people think that they can, you know, just blindly work harder the
I found that out the hard way.
you know, the people who quit their jobs and go, oh, I'm just going to make it happen. And, you know, a lot of people think that, hey, if I put myself in an adverse situation where I have no excuses and I have to pull through, that things are suddenly magically going to work. Sometimes they don't. So if you have an opportunity to maintain that career and work your way through it and build income on the side, then I definitely recommend that that's the approach that you take. And again, when you're building on YouTube, that's another good way. Don't let it consume you. You know, it's if you realize that it's something that you're working on the side as you're getting started, and you have, you know, real life has to trump YouTube a lot of the time. You can certainly make changes to your schedule to dedicate the time to doing this, but you know, some people they get obsessed with the numbers and they just want to grow faster than is reasonable to expect.
Yeah.
And that is where people run into trouble. That's where they get burned out. That's where, you know, nobody in their family can talk to them because they're just focused on the prize, and they think that because other people are having success and they're not, that they are, you know, they're missing something or not working hard enough. But what we learn is these things take time. The more that you can go down the path of thinking smarter and develop efficiencies in your process, that's where the most growth happens in my eyes. I know when I first started making videos, the idea of making a video was painful because of all the things I had to do before I got in front of the camera. At the time, I thought that, you know, professional YouTubers needed green screens, and I didn't have a place to make videos. So I was setting up my green screen in my living room. My wife did not appreciate that, nor did she allow me to leave it up in the living room. So I would literally say, hey, I'm going to make a video. Let's set up a green screen. Let's try to get the lighting right, which lighting a green screen is a pain in the butt.
It is.
Once you get it lit, you do not want to take the lights down and relight it. It's painful because any little shadow, any unbalance in the light is going to show up in your green screen effect. So when I learned that I didn't need a green screen, that I needed to find a dedicated space that could always be set up. It really changed my approach, and it actually changed the channel. It is because I made that change that had nothing to do with on camera that I had a dedicated space to make a video. So when the time came to make a video about a recent YouTube change, I literally heard the news, stepped in front of my camera, hit record, made the jankiest video I've ever made, with just really rough edits and stuff, and put it out there. And that's the video that transformed my channel and gained thousands of subscribers in a couple months. And it's just insane how that works. But I wouldn't have been able to do that. I wouldn't have been able to get out in front of everybody on that particular topic if I hadn't made those efficiency improvements to go out and do that particular video at that particular time. So it's those kind of, even that is more important than subscribers on your channel, is learning how to be an efficient creator, how to improve over time, and find ways to make better videos without being stressed out and without consuming every waking hour in your life.
I feel like I can probably just, piggyback on what you're already saying. And I want to give a good, example here of someone that honestly had a system put in place. It wasn't perfect and it wasn't anything that people would probably normally brag about. But you see the silver play button that's behind me. That's for my buddy Walter Wyburn. And Walter has a camera that's 360p. Now, you might laugh and go, that's not possible. It is. He uses 360p. He uses a very basic, onboard microphone. He edits it very simple and he uploads it. And honestly, it's gotten him over 100,000 subscribers. He told me it's changed his life. Like, he was like, I was really in bad need of help. And then pretty much I just kept telling him, like, keep at it, man. And the funny thing is he found his tribe and he blew up really, really quick. And all because he had a system in place and he stuck to it. It's funny. I had a private conversation with him the other day and I see in the background of one of his videos, he's talking. It's this fancy Canon camera hanging out. And Canons, they're not anything cheap, right? It's a good brand. He's got it on a tripod too. And I'm like, Walter, what the heck are you doing? You've got that professional DSLR camera behind you. What are you doing, man? And he's like, should I use that? I was like, no, don't listen to me, man. I'm like, you got successful with 360p. I mean, look at like PewDiePie like years ago. Like, I think he just now switched over to like 1080p. He was for 720 for many years and even less than that. And it just kind of goes to show sometimes having a system in place and sticking to it sometimes works. So, not having to chase after things like tech type stuff. And I'm saying this as I have very fancy tech equipment in front of me. But, look, Walter's proven that you don't need that fancy equipment. In fact, you can just put it in your background as a prop.
Yeah. And then on the flip side of that, when it comes to fancy equipment, people definitely, in that search to grow their channel, they think they need expensive equipment. What I decided to do with this channel is that I started with my phone in my pocket. I made 100 videos. And like you too, I've kind of gone the path of some fancy equipment, but I committed to letting YouTube buy it all. So I have not spent any of my personal money on any of the gear that I use for the YouTube channel. I monetized the channel. And as those checks started to come in, I reinvested that in the channel. And it was more, and again, it was back to efficiency. It wasn't so much with the cool tools, because a lot of people will go and they'll make videos and then they, they do all these things. They color grade and they, sync their audio and they do all this stuff. And then they, tweak their audio. The reason that I got this mic is so I didn't have to do anything to the audio after I recorded it, because I'm lazy and I wanted to get the best audio I could right out of the gate and not have to go back and spend more time and create another step in my process, which to me is an inefficiency. And so it took me a few years to get it, but I reinvested the money that YouTube gave to me to improve hopefully improve my quality a little bit, and make that improvement without having to do a bunch of additional steps.
Yeah, that's good. I can't even add any more onto that. That's literally all the things that I put in my workspace is to make my workspace comfortable, easily accessible, and easy to set up. So for instance, I'm able to just go ahead and turn on and off my lights, really quick push of a button, it's all ready to go. That way it looks professional and I'm ready to rock and roll. Do I absolutely need it? No, but kind of like you, I just took all the money that I was earning through YouTube and pumped it right back into it. And 5 years later, that's why I'm able to have some of these nicer pieces of equipment, is because I kept thinking, reinvesting. And the funny thing is, even as I reinvested, I still have money left over. So that was a really nice part of things. I've got a quick question here, man. Can I fire it off real fast?
Absolutely.
I'm going to talk here. I'm going to talk with all the viewers here. I see that there is nearly 40 of you watching right now. Okay. I'm on Creator Fundamentals because I'm just a guest, but I'm just curious. Out of the lot of you, who all is going to People of Video and meet me in person? Because if we meet in person, I will personally give you a banana sticker. If you happen to come, just let me know if you're coming. And if you aren't coming, say no and just explain why. Say, no, not interested, or no, can't afford it, or no, it's way out of distance. Yeah, he's got a banana sticker on his. I'll be bringing a stack of these stickers, man. It's going to be slapped on everybody. Some people that probably don't even want it will get it.
You got to come to People of Video just for the banana stickers. Absolutely.
Just for the banana stickers. Absolutely. Yeah. And I'm kind of jazzed up. I just wanted to see, because we only touched on People of Video real briefly. And rather than, you going to the well on this one, I figured I'd come out because I'm just curious. And by the way, folks, Dan's not paying me a dime to say this. Not a single penny. I'm just geeked up being able to come up and meet up with you in Albany. I'm just really thrilled. Actually, a good mutual friend of ours, Kathy Fitt. Kathy Fitt. Yeah. I think she said she got a ticket. I'm looking forward to seeing her in person.
Yeah, she's going to. I've had the opportunity to meet Kathy. She attended some of our New York City video masterminds in person.
Nice.
Actually, we attended a bunch of them opposite each other, but the last one that I went to before, the world stopped turning, I got a chance to meet her in person. Yeah, she's actually going to help. She's going to come and be part of the People of Video staff. So she's going to help run this thing. So we're excited to have her there as well. But yeah, just real quick, guys, People of Video, it's exactly about what we're talking about here. It's tips and strategies from experts who have been successful in online video. You guys know the names: Brian G. Johnson, Roberto Blake, Owen Video, and so many more. Dale here is going to be the MC. He's going to be leading the party. And we really want to see you there. You can come to the event by grabbing tickets at peopleofvideo.com. You can use promo code YouTube and save 45% off of your ticket through this live stream tonight. So we're excited. Business and life up here in New York is pretty much back to normal. I know around certain parts of the country there's still some issues, but I've had the opportunity to go out. I just posted the other day out eating brunch safe and out there with everybody. So we're going to have a good time, a safe time at People of Video, and learn a lot, plus be able to network with some amazing content creators, and not just the speakers on the stage. They're going to be mingling with everybody. We're all going to be in the room together. You're going to have a chance to talk to Dale, talk to me, ask questions in person, stuff that a lot of us may not be able to cover on our channels just because YouTube doesn't favor it, but it's stuff that can be helpful to you. You can ask those questions in person at People of Video. It's in Albany, New York. It's October 8th, 9th, and 10th. And yeah, like you, man, I'm just excited. I haven't been to an event. I actually went to an event down in Florida right before everything happened. It's been almost 2 years.
Yeah.
So I'm excited to get the band back together and hang out with everybody in person. And if you've never been to a conference, it's just a really cool opportunity to surround yourself with like-minded people. And I know we bring this up all the time, but I can't have a conversation about YouTube with, my family. No, nobody gets it, but to surround
You don't get me, Mom.
exactly. Yeah, for sure. And, if the positive or silver lining of COVID is that this is going to be a nice intimate event, so it's not like there's going to be 1,000 people there and you're not going to be able to meet everybody. We're going to have a much smaller event, so you're going to have ample opportunity to interact with the speakers and your fellow attendees to really network and build relationships. And those relationships are certainly going to be the things that you carry on for years past, all the great information that you're going to learn from the stage as well.
Yeah, so true. Okay, so I got my answers, man. I got my answers. So we've got a few no's, and I find it for good reasons and such. Obviously, I've had my POV ticket since last year. Pete Rondeau says, Pete, I cannot wait to meet you. Make sure you come up and collect your banana sticker for me. Be like, hey, where's my banana sticker, dude? And you got to do it like crazy eyed, like I just did right there. But thank you so much, Pete. I'm glad to have you join us at People of Video. Rounded Rob says, sounds like a great time. Susie Valentin says, darn, I love bananas. Don't eat these bananas, Susie. It's not good. It kind of sticks to your insides, literally. Let's see here. Someone else said, okay, no, I'm in the UK, not made of money. Priority is better camera. I don't blame you. If you're in the UK, I think it would probably go the other way as well. If you were running a conference, chances are not very likely of me heading out to UK. Would I like to go there to do that? Absolutely.
And unfortunately, I think that being in the UK, well, I don't know is UK in the exception? It's hard to keep track of all the COVID rules. I know there's, some places you can't even get in the US right now. So, those are definitely some challenges that we're all facing, but we're excited to be able to get as many people as possible. And if you can travel from the UK, we'd love to have you for sure. But, yeah, it's been long coming. We didn't get the chance to do this last year. Was an idea that we had a couple of years ago, and it's finally coming to fruition. And we're excited about it. So,
I love this one. You got to highlight the comment by Sybil and Wrong Sybil. Come here in the Philippines, bro. That's it. We're going out to the Philippines. There
it is.
People of Video next year. I know we brought up UK, but I mean we're going to go to the Philippines. I'm sorry, I'm totally kidding. We'd love to do them both of those. But I think it's been such a challenge for you being first year into doing this. Trying to move it further away from New York at this point, it's probably not very feasible.
I'll say hi to Old Geezer Gaming.
Like that.
That is like his tagline. He always lets me know. Gave a like. He does a gaming channel. I think it's PlayStation gaming. So nice. Thanks for coming and hanging out on the live stream. Appreciate it. I thought this year was going to be the year that I got a PlayStation and I could, maybe join him in a game, but PlayStation 5 was like a ghost. It was like an apparition trying to get your hands on one. But
do you even have time to do video games right now?
Not right now. I don't, but it's going to be interesting because once all this settles down, I look forward to kind of mapping this all out and sharing it with people, what it actually looks like to make a conference go, because it is exciting, but it's like a octopus. There's so many moving parts, and we're bringing everything together. We're going to have the event in October, and we will find a way to make it the best event we possibly can. And it's cool because some of the things, like you start to get some of the signage and stuff comes in with the logo on it. And it just really gets you pumped up, and so we're excited to be able to get everybody there and just have a good time for 3 days. That's the goal. I think that the relationships that people make are going to be, similar to you and I, who met in 2017 at an event in person. Fast forward a few years, and now you're the MC of People of Video. So, there's a lot of opportunities in more ways than one. When I first went to an event, it was something that I was very much on the fence about. I didn't think I could afford it, But I finally decided that, hey, if I want this to be something, I need to invest in myself and have faith in what I'm doing, and understand that sometimes you have to invest in yourself to get where you want to go. And it certainly changed my perspective on things, and certainly changed the direction of my channel. And obviously we're here now, hosting a conference, our own conference, and not traveling to a different one. So certainly excited about that.
For sure. Certainly pumped up. And yeah, you've had a fair amount of people showing up tonight, man. Hopefully, if anybody has questions, make sure that you load them up.
We're probably going to wrap up a little shy of 9 o'clock tonight. So if you have any questions, now is the time to put them in the
Load 'em
chat.
up.
Just put question in there, throw it out. And I think I see one in there, but just let us know, and we'll try to wrap those questions up before we wrap up tonight. Dashing Grandpa is Dirty Shoes Adventures, new channel. From what I've learned from all you guys, the channel is growing a lot faster than the Dirty Shoes Adventure channel. I really appreciate. Awesome. Yeah, it's always exciting. Sometimes I have a few channels, and it's definitely exciting when you find a new topic to cover on YouTube. One of the things, like you said, when all this stuff settles down, I'm going to try to do some additional content on some other channels that I am excited about as well. But for now, it's People of Video. We're focused on all the things we have to do, all the I's and T's that we have to dot and cross to get this puppy live to everybody. So we're excited.
Yeah, what's your video content flow been like? Your workflow for Amazon Video?
Amazon Video, for those of you who don't know, if you are part of the YouTube Partner Program, not that you have to be, but that's my guess at what Amazon is looking for. There is an amazing revenue stream that I think every YouTuber needs to look at, and that's Amazon Influencer Video. Dale and I have certainly been working on that, and it is extremely lucrative and rewarding, and it is just an amazing opportunity to make a lot of money using the skills we all have now as YouTubers. So for me, I tend to have kind of sessions in making videos. Mm-hmm. For those of you who aren't familiar with Amazon's influencer program, they've recently introduced the option of making videos. And you basically are making product videos where you're taking something, I don't know why I have a tape measure on my desk, but I do. But you make a video and you explain why you bought it on Amazon, what you wanted, what you like about it, what its features are, and you pop that video on Amazon. It's a couple-minute video, and then every time somebody watches your video and buys the product, you get paid. It's like 2 to 4% commission, but the videos are so easy to make. You start popping out the videos. I know we have Susie Valentin in the chat is doing Amazon Influencer Video and having good success on that as well. And it's just it's an awesome opportunity to be able to do that. And if you are interested in it, if you want to take the fast track on that, you can go over to influencer100x.com and grab my course. But you certainly don't need the course. If you want to learn things and take a little bit longer in the process, you can do that as well. But basically, I've taken what has proven to be the most efficient way to get videos out and make money. Last month, I made over $7,000 for the month. And this year we're on pace to do the same. So if you want to learn how I did it, definitely influencer100x.com to grab that course and join us in the private Facebook group and learn about this amazing revenue opportunity.
Yeah, my wife Kelly has been really enjoying the course. I'm just over here blindly breaking things and such, but it's worked so far. My goal was to make $100 in the first month, and I already surpassed that. So I'm real happy with that. I'm right now, I can't remember my count. I just uploaded about another 5 videos today. So that will probably put me close to 30 videos right now. Nice. So it's not bad. I'm real happy, and it's super simple. It's literally I just have to de-YouTube myself. I constantly think of this specific model that I'm used to and thumbnails that are like that, but it's so much more simplistic. Point and shoot. And I'm like, wow, I like this. So I'm having fun with video again, because before it was I was doing all these videos and I had to edit myself, and then I have to make sure that I upload it. And yeah, I've got a team. They handle that stuff now. So when I was coming into this opportunity, I was like, oh, I can't pay more to my team to do more tasks. I'm just like, no, let's do this on our own. And when you said basic, basic, and I'm like, really basic? Yes, point and shoot. I'm like, okay, I'll be darned. He was right.
Yeah, I mean, once you realize the flow that's successful, it's really about working smarter rather than harder, and it is, in a lot of ways, forgetting what you think you know about YouTube and going after. One of the things that I love about Amazon versus YouTube is that you're rewarded for efficiency. Sometimes on YouTube, people who are professional time wasters and they just draw out videos and get people to watch longer are rewarded because YouTube's looking for the watch time. So in this scenario, if you can concisely and succinctly, and other words that mean getting to the point as quickly as possible, guide somebody into purchasing a product by showing them what the product looks like and how to use it and what it looks like in your hand, then you can definitely make a ton of money on Amazon. And I've approached it very much from the what would I look for in a video. And in a lot of cases, it's just, hey, I want to buy that product. And, they show you this stock photo with a white background. You can't really get a sense of how big it is or what it looks like. So when
How
you
it
take
functions.
yeah, when you
Yeah.
take something and you show it to them in the real world, it
Mhm.
really it gives them that additional value. And a lot of times just showing that can be a really effective way to get them to watch your video and answer any last minute questions they have when it comes to that particular product that they're looking at. Um, so
The
yeah,
the part that is very interesting, and this is what I know from my end of things, and I got an Amazon ads certification, and one thing I learned was that 91% of customers browsing the Amazon marketplace will actually check the reviews before they make a purchase. Guess what's right above those reviews? The videos. So that's why it's such an amazing opportunity. If they ended up switching that, boy, it'd probably be something different. But I think what they're wanting to do is get these videos to convert better than what the reviews are going to be doing. And that way people would go to the reviews if the videos didn't get to cover things. I've found, like, I've just browsed on Amazon's marketplace and there's so many products that are just absolutely crushing it. And not a single video that's uploaded about it. They'll have videos related to the product, but some of them don't have a specific video devoted to that product. So it's the wild west right now. There's a lot of opportunity over here on Amazon Influencer. But the one person said share just a little bit more about Amazon Influencer. So I'm going to ask you, because you know better than what I do. What are they looking for? Is it YouTube? Is it, say, Twitter? Is it a Facebook following? Is there something specific? So let's say, for instance, if I've got a group of, say, 50,000 members on Facebook, would that qualify for the Amazon Influencer program?
so the Amazon Influencer program does not come out and specifically tell you what the requirements are.
Okay.
My guess is that, and this is purely a guess, but it's based on seeing people who were not approved and the other people that were approved, that I think it's somewhere similar to what YouTube looks for in
Yeah.
terms of that 1,000 subscriber size audience.
Yeah.
I believe it is YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram are the three that they specifically reference as
Mm.
needing an audience on. So if you have a decent audience on one of those three, you can certainly apply. And
Yeah.
don't be afraid, because if you apply and get rejected, you can certainly apply again.
Yeah.
There's no harm there. I actually have a video that explains all the details of the application process, and it's a link to the page where you actually apply for Amazon Influencer. You can check it out on Creator Fundamentals. You can just do a search for Amazon Influencer video. And that'll give you the details on actually applying. So if you haven't applied yet, definitely become part of that. There's actually a whole playlist. I think it's called How to Crush It on Amazon with Amazon Influencer Video. So if you're looking for more info on Amazon Influencer, that is a great place to start. And if you want everything laid out for you step by step, influencer100x.com is your next step there. So I did see.
There was one, I hope you're going after it. My C Prince left a question here for you,
Yeah,
and
I
it's
saw
a little
that.
off the Amazon Influencer. I figured since you loaded them up with that video, they're probably good to go on that.
My main content is unscripted, just bullet points. I've been trying to record my channel trailer. How do I stop myself speaking too quick when reading from a script? The great thing about making online video is there's no film. So you can make that video as many times as you need to. until you're comfortable with it. And
Yeah.
sometimes it's just a matter of practice. Now, one of the things that you can do, and this may seem silly to people, but this was like a ridiculous game changer for me. I used to put my camera up and be like, "Hey, welcome to Creator Fundamental," and I'd screw up, and then I'd stop the camera, and I'd try to think about what I want to say, and then I'd start the camera, and then I'd try to do the thing. Leave the camera running, and it can be as a matter of, "Hey, welcome to whatever today we're going to talk about." Didn't get it right. Do it again. Do it again. Do it again until you like it, and then move on to the next part. Never stop the camera. Let it record. And when you go to edit, and this is actually a cool tip, I think it was Meredith Marsh who brought this up, you can edit in reverse. So you can look at like the audio on your videos and you can see that last section of audio that's the longest in those different sections. You know that that is the, likely going to be the best take for you. And then it's easy to just chop out everything else and then tweak your edit after the fact. But yeah, I mean, simply just a practice thing. And the have a conversation. You're by yourself. There's no audience, but imagine that you're talking to an individual, that you're not presenting to a bunch of people, and that's going to be the best way for you to provide that conversational tone that I imagine you're looking for.
Yep. I have nothing else to add to that, to be honest. I do bullet points myself. So just hang in there, man. It's not easy, but one of the things you should do is just allow yourself mistakes. I used to go through, like, I've got a short fuse, and sometimes I would just absolutely lose it if I wasn't saying what I wanted to say. And of course, naturally, it starts to make me more aggressive in my approach on my videos. And I'm like, at one point, Dan was like, "Smile, loosen up, relax." He's like, But anyway, I was at a conference once, and I saw Brian G. Johnson shooting a video with Nick Nemeth, and I noticed when Brian would mess things up, he would just dip his head down. He'd come right back up, same energy, go at that line again. And when I had a conversation, I spoke to him. I was like, "Hey, man, like, what gives on that, man? I noticed you just kind of like, you're like, your battery goes down and then you're right back up." And he's just like, "Well, you just have to allow yourself the ability to make mistakes," because he's like, by making those mistakes, you can probably be able to flush out the best way to deliver that line. So he's like, keep doing it, keep trying. He's like, if it doesn't quite work, try to reword it. And he's like, "Yeah, you shouldn't," because I told him I used to just be like in screaming fits, yelling at my camera. I'm like, I'm just dropping the F bomb, screaming. And my wife's like, she didn't like that. And she looked over at me when Brian gave me that advice. She was like, and the funny thing is, to this day, I give myself a little bit of room. So I'd say give yourself a little bit of room, my C Prince, and you'll see. Just allow it to breathe. Be you and express yourself as you would normally express yourself.
And one of the other things that you can do that end, because like I do bullet points too. I don't always write them down, but I have a general idea of what I want to talk about.
Yeah.
And I do that for a couple of reasons. I do it because I want it to seem like it's a flow of consciousness and that it's not that I'm not reading it off of something. But the other thing that you can also practice while you're trying to figure that out, one of the things that I used to do is have this massive thought that maybe it ran on for 60 seconds. And if I screwed up in the middle of it, I'd try to record the entire thing again.
Oh,
If,
no.
if you practice having, putting some spacing or some, taking some breaths and taking some time between sentences, then you don't have to scrap the entire thing. But if you're
Yeah.
reeling everything off and your mouth is constantly talking, and as soon as you end one sentence, you're jumping into the next sentence, and there's no place to edit that and take the good stuff. So if you slow it down a little bit and you realize that you don't have to speak super fast, then when you go back to edit, you're going to have those downtimes that you can cut. So you can take the part of it that's good and just re-record the part of it that's not. So those are all things that are certainly going to help you get better at the process. Plus, having the bullet points and practicing coming up with what you want to say off the cuff is going to make you better at sounding more natural, because it's just going to be brain to mouth and you're not reading anything and you're not trying to remember what you decided you wanted to say on camera. It's just, the topic, talk about the topic, and that's definitely going to come across a lot more authentic.
For sure. Dude, we filled an hour. You see that? Our time went so quick. Excellent questions. I really appreciate everybody kind of contributing. Folks, I'm going to go ahead and say it for Dan because he's already said it before. Hey, peopleofvideo.com. Come on and join the event. It would make Dan's day. Look at him. He's smiling when he knows that you're going to be buying a ticket and you're going to use the promo code YouTube for 45% off. Yeah, that's right. Because you're watching, he's hooking you up with 45% off if you use the YouTube coupon code at checkout for People of Video and you show up in person. This is my guarantee to you. You'll be getting a banana sticker directly from me. I will hand it to you.
Those are holographic banana stickers. I
They
don't have
are.
a holographic.
Oh, you don't have the holographic
I'm going to be
one.
the first one in line for a banana sticker because I don't have the fancy ones.
Yeah.
I'll hook you up with a holographic People of Video sticker and come and find me. I'll give you a holographic People of Video sticker and a bunch of other good stuff. And you get a bunch of goodies in your bag anyway when you check in. So, hey, I want to thank everybody for coming and hanging out with us here on the live stream tonight. We had a great audience. I'm so happy that people are finding us once again on Monday nights. I'm going to be back next Monday. Dale's going to be on vacation, taking some of that R&R and avoiding that burnout. So we're going to let him do that. But I will be back next Monday, and I hope all of you are as well. We're going to be talking about something that helps you grow here on YouTube and build revenue around your content and channel. Thanks again for hanging out with us.